Today I have a machine that I should have gotten around to reviewing quite a long time ago. This is the Maxim's Seine X Espresso machine. I believe that's how you pronounce it. This machine has kind of gained a lot of popularity because you've probably seen it shown up in a lot of YouTube or Instagram or TikTok shorts, but not a lot of people have really dived in and given their perspective and their opinion on it. This machine is no joke either. This comes in at $1,300, which is quite a bit for somebody buying an espresso machine, but it also includes everything that you kind of need to get going, which we'll talk about quite a bit. So I want to talk about what the pros and the cons of this machine are, how it works, what it's all got going for it, and who should actually buy this machine. So I want to start off by kind of going over some of the features. First off, this comes with quite a few accessories, more so than pretty much any other machine that I've seen. We got a bottomless portafilter with a wooden accent in here. This comes in both blue. The machine comes in blue, black, and like a white or cream color. It has matching wooden handles on the side. It also changes the wood accents to like dark on some of the machines too as well. You got a spouted portafilter here. You got a self-levering tamper that'll give you consistent pressure and consistent tamp. You got a little magnetic funnel for your portafilter. You have a distribution tool. You have a milk steaming pitcher that I do not have shown. That's fairly nice. You have a little tamping mat here that sits on the corner of your counter. You have some cleaning brushes and a rag, and you have a WD-2 tool, which we'll get into in just a second. So I want to kind of go off the basic things. This thing has a lot of features packed in it, more so than pretty much any other machine that I've had. We're going to start off with the drip tray and kind of work our way from there. So the drip tray, this is either pro or con depending on how you have your setup. I consider this a con because of the way mine's set up. So the drip tray pops out like that. It has a little red indicator on there to let you know when it's filled up. And then this is where the thing that I don't like but might be good for you is it has a water tank right here and it pulls out. You cannot get it any further away from the machine than this without disconnecting the tubes. That's kind of a pain in my opinion. So like removing the entire water tank to fill it up is not a very convenient thing in my opinion. So you just simply pop off this rubber thing and fill it up with water, and that'll do the job. The nice thing about this is if you don't have a lot of clearance to like pull a water tank out of the top of your machine, this makes it easy to fill up if your machine is under countertops. If it's on a coffee bar, like mine is, with no countertops above it, it clicks into place, by the way. It is kind of annoying because I don't like having to remove the drip tray to get to the water tank, but it's not a big deal. I find it kind of hard to click. I always find it cumbersome to get the drip tray back in, and I don't know if this is just a user error on my part or what the deal is. We'll get there. There we go. It kind of clicks into place, and you want to make sure it's in there. Otherwise, you'll miss like kind of the part where it depressurizes the machine, and water will get it all over the place. So going into the feature, I want to start on this side of it. This is pretty unique as if you take your portafilter, you put your funnel on it. If it's right in these cradles, there's a nice light that goes in. There's also a light on the side and right there to see your shot. This handle can either be pulled down and it will manually grind your coffee beans in, or you can push it up and it will automatically grind your coffee by either time or weight. So this actually has a built-in scale, and you can set it to whatever dose you want and it will come out pretty accurate when it comes to the dose. So if you want 18 grams, you simply push up on the handle, it'll grind out 18 grams. There's a little knob on the side and you can see what your grind setting's at by the number indicating, making it pretty easy to dial in beans. The grinder is just okay. It's a 38 millimeter conical burr, so it's pretty small and it's pretty cheap, and it's just okay. It's probably the weakest point of this entire machine, but having it being able to grind by weight in there, it's pretty nice and makes it a lot easier for somebody who's starting off to get pretty good consistent shots, because it takes out the step of having to weigh out your beans and single dose it if you have a single dosing grinder. It's kind of nice to have that built in with that feature. It's pretty rare. You don't see a lot of grind by weight grinders in general, so I do find that pretty nice. The hopper can lock entirely and pop off cup warming tray. I don't like this little, I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of a weird shaded plastic to kind of be the cup rail. That kind of pops off on the top, but nevertheless, it's in there. Moving on from that side, grinder's just subpar, but it does a decent job, and it's pretty easy to dial in because it does have that number indication there. You can also change the RPM of the grinder, so you can change how fast the grinder runs. Moving on to this side, you got your standard hot water tap, which is right here. It moves, which is kind of nice. You can kind of push it out of the way, push it in the way, and then you have your steam wand. The steam wand, it's kind of hard to get over the drip tray to purge your steam wand. The drip tray is kind of shallow. I wish they would have kicked that out a little bit more, but it's a nice long steam wand on a ball head, so it's really easy to kind of get over your cup. It's got this black thing on here, and this is pretty unique when it comes to machines. This actually has an infrared sensor right on the tip that goes directly down into your milk, and that infrared sensor basically will automatically stop your milk at a certain temperature. So you don't have to guess on temperature anymore. You still have to manually steam your milk, but at least does stop on temperature to make that a little easier for you when it comes to that. However, you got to make sure your milk is lined up correctly with that. You got to make sure your hand's not in front of it, otherwise that temperature might be off slightly, but it at least does a good job. You simply move this lever up or down, depending on if you want the hot water or the steam. We got a little pretty winded right there. So we're going to take this quick moment to say you should like and subscribe. I put out a lot of content. I go through a lot of machines, and you liking and subscribing is a free way that you can support me, and it allows companies like them to send me things free of charge so I can review them unbiasedly for you. Nobody really pays me for this. If they do, I specify that, and all of this stuff is unbiased reviews in here, so I get freedom to say whatever I want, which is great. Moving on from there, again, like and subscribe. There is a lot of features when it comes to this right here. So we're going to start off with this little thing right here. Fold that down. Put your little cup on there. Pretend this is a cup. That's a scale. And the nice thing about that is that will automatically stop your shot by weight, which is crazy for a machine to do that. And that's not all it does. There's this little touch screen on here. Apparently they might have an app, but it's been out for like a year. I've been using this quite a bit, and I haven't seen the app yet, so who knows if that's actually a thing. But there's 5 modes on there. There's a standard mode, which is like a single shot or a double shot. There's a consistent mode, which means it'll automatically pull out a shot based off of weight at a certain pressure, so you can do 9 bars, 6 bars, however you want. There's a variable mode, which is my favorite, which is where you can change the pressure of your shot throughout the shot. So you can set it to brew for 30 milligrams or 30 seconds at 3 bars, jump up to 6 bars, jump up back to 3 bars, then go to 9 bars. You can do whatever you want for it, and you can customize it. You can customize pre-infusion, all that stuff. Then there is the drip coffee, which I've never really done, but that'll do like a pour over thing for you. I don't know. It's kind of weird. And then there is the manual mode, which you can set to kind of whatever bars of pressure you want. And you have a sliding touch bar on here. So you basically just slide across, and you can change the pressure as you want it. And it will, in live time, give you whatever pressure you're at. It'll give you the time built onto this, and it will give you the weight too in your cup. All of that information is straight on here on the screen, which is super nice in live time. You very rarely get that, and that allows you to kind of control things however you want to, which is great for this reason alone. If you grind too coarse, what's going to happen is your shot's going to come out too fast, and you'll get a bad shot. So if you're doing this in the manual mode, what happens if you grind too coarse, then you can just lower the pressure of it and still get a good shot. Or if you grind too fine, you can raise the pressure, and you can kind of manipulate the pressure during the shot to then give you a drinkable shot at the end of it. This little thing right here will just automatically, you move it over and it will do your consistent 9-bar shot. You can program that to be whatever you want to, and it'll automatically stop at your output. So that's kind of nice when you set like your parameters of what you want for a shot. you can just walk away and it will be done and stop for you automatically, which I think is super rare and super, super nice and convenient when it comes to it. I know I just covered a lot here. I want to go into the accessories a bit, and then we're going to talk about the build quality, who I think this is for, why you'd want those features, and all that stuff. So the nice thing about this tamper is this tamper has a little lip on the side of it, and that little lip allows you to perfectly tamp level every single time at the same pressure. They have this little tool which is supposed to like even out your grounds at the beginning of your shot, and you can change the depth of that. Nobody uses this anymore. This is kind of old school, but it is what it is. And you got this little whisk looking thing. This little whisk looking thing is pretty popular. It's called a WDT tool, and it's just got a bunch of needles, and it works great. There's not much to say about it. I personally just don't use these tools very often. I find the grounds not to give you a ton of clumps anyway in this machine, so I find it irrelevant. The tamping mat sits nicely on your countertop, allows you to tamp without kind of scraping up your countertop in there, and has a nice little place to put your tamper. Nevertheless, it does a good job on that. So this is very interesting machine because of all that it can do in all the weird quirks of it. So the build quality is plastic all around. Cheap metal, plastic here, metal, metal. Very, very plasticky. The touchscreen is just okay. It's good enough. It gets the job done. Plastic here, plastic here. Everything is pretty much plastic on this machine. The wood feels cheap and fake. Nothing like high quality in any aspect of this machine. The knobs kind of wobble side to side a little bit everywhere. It's plastic, but it seems like kind of the build quality in the sense of plastic in the realm of Breville may be slightly better in some ways. Like the Breville is cheap plastic, but it doesn't feel like horrible plastic, if that makes sense. It's not like one of those really, really cheap machines that you get off of Amazon. It like feels finished well. It looks well. They have these nice lights. You can shut off all. You can customize everything on this machine. You can shut off these lights. You can shut off these lights. You can really do whatever you want. There is a power button on the side here that shuts the whole machine off. You turn it on. Heats up in about 3 minutes or so. And then there's also a secondary power button right there. It can chime up too, and then like after a few minutes of it heating up, it'll be on there. I can't remember if it's dual boiler, but basically you can't brew and steam at the same time. So I don't know if it is dual boiler. They're not allowing you to do that for some reason, but I think it was marketed at one point as a dual boiler. However, you don't have to wait to steam. There's a separate heat up for the steam and the brew head. I just don't know what the terminologies of all that stuff is, but you can just look it up on the link provided. You can change the temperature, you can change the pressure, you can change everything on it. So the interesting thing about it is this thing is loaded with advanced features, and I'm one of those types of people. I've been around coffee for a while. I've owned the decent espresso machine. I've owned a lot of flares, and I've really controlled my shots to the variables that I like. So I kind of know what I like to do. I know that I like to ramp up in pressure, and I know I like to ramp down in pressure. I like to stay around 6 bars. I like to do long pre-infusions. I like to be able to adjust on the fly, and this can do all of that stuff. But see, the problem that it comes with is the grinder's not great for what I want. Like, I won't use the grinder. It'll get the job done, but I won't use it. But the person that would want the grinder isn't going to play around with all the customability of this machine that it can do, which gets kind of confusing on why it exists with the built-in grinder. It probably would have done better without it. We don't know how long all this stuff is going to last. Disclosure, I did actually have a grinder break on me, and they had to send me a new unit, but they were very, very good at responding. I don't know if that's just because I am a YouTuber and they knew I was going to review this machine, but that did happen. However, it doesn't make the rest of the machine not work. So I did most of my stuff. It's a night. The thing it's nice for is if you're like me and you have a nice grinder that you pair with it, and you can really mess with your shots with all the control that you have. But you also have somebody who likes the convenience and doesn't really care about it. Maybe they drink decaf, maybe not. You can put whatever beans in the hopper, they can automatically weigh it and they can easily make a shot. And it's really, really easy to do. And they don't have to worry about all the features. So it's kind of like almost needs to be in a two-person household. It needs to be somebody who plays with the machine a lot, and it needs to be somebody who doesn't really care a lot and wants the convenience, because it kind of has all of that when it comes to the machine, which is pretty unique. And I really, really like. I think one of the things that would push me toward, if you're in the market for your first machine, I wouldn't hesitate pushing you toward this. Partly because Breville makes a lot of machines and they throw touchscreens on it and they come in around $1,000, some even more, with just still a subpar grinder. I would probably say maybe a tad better than this one, but not crazy in comparison to this. I would almost push you toward this because this has the automatic weighing that you can control a little bit, and it helps you understand espresso when you follow the settings, and it's really, really easy to adjust. But then it also allows you to grow in the amount of depth and understanding and knowledge that you can get from the touchscreen. And I really, really like that feature about it. And you always have the option down the road to upgrade the grinder separately and still have all these machines that are packed into it. That really, really does give incredible, incredible results. I've been very, very happy and impressed with it. Having this built-in scale and never having to put a scale on there, move it out of the way, and it flip up super easily to purge your shot. I really appreciate it. I really like it, and I'm really happy with it. I wish it was a little bit I wish it was built better. I wish you could buy the whole machine alone and cut the grinder out and make it under $1,000. I think it would be incredible. I wish you could pump in a 5-gallon bucket and drain the drip tray, which is a key feature on machines for me. You can't do that, but also it's still $1,300. It packs in more features than most machines that I've seen at most price points, for that matter. Having the infrared sensor, having, I guess the Breville Bambino Plus has an automatic steamer that also has a temperature probe in it. So that's not uncommon. The temperature probes probably work a little bit better than the infrared things, but having all the flexibility on the touchscreen to control pressure, to control temperature, to control flow rate, like you can go through and you can change everything. I wish this app would exist so you can change it all from an app. That would be a lot better. The 3-minute heat up time, also phenomenal. Overall, I would actually really kind of encourage you to pick up this machine. Just fair warning, who knows how long the grinder is going to last, and it's not the best grinder, but it at least gets you somewhere and it gives you good foundation and understanding of it with a machine that can grow and do all those things that you see random people on YouTube Shorts and TikTok Shorts do. So hopefully this answers all the questions that you might have on this machine. If you have any more, let me know on this. I would love to answer them, help you guide them. But overall, I'm quite surprised that they managed to pull off all the stuff that they have on it. And it might not last forever, and it is expensive, and it's definitely, you can buy better built machines for a cheaper price. But when it comes to the features and the tech that they packed in it, feels pretty reasonable. And honestly, in today's day and age, we spend $1,300 on our phones every few years. And yes, we interact with those more, but $1,300 is a lot of money, but it's also not a crazy amount for all the stuff that you're getting. And if it's worth it to you, you definitely do get a lot of things, and it's very, very easy to use. And it's pretty fun to use, and it's kind of a nice, unique, and fun color along with it. So again, please like and subscribe. It's a free way to help support this channel, and thank you so much for watching.